It was in this actual hotel on this actual street where we talked to the actual Paul Simon. and so I called the album The Actual Nude Furniture because of that.
I love it.
I'm on a mountain looking down below, and town's the only place to go.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Tulsa Tempo podcast. My name is Amy, and I'm your hostess. We are coming to you from the beautiful Blue Couch Studios right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, located right on Studio Row and right across the street from the beautiful Church Studios. Earlier today, we had very special guests on our show, Lynn Hernandez from Tulsa Rocks and Jill Munroe. They were kind enough to stop by, come visit us, to have a little sit down with them. So we're going to take a couple minutes and give you all some shots from that in our conversation. They have some really good things coming up. They do a lot of great work in our community, and we are really happy that they stopped by. We love to support them and all things Tulsa. So enjoy. Today, we have with us some very, very special guests that we are so excited to have. We have Lynn Hernandez and Jill Munroe from Tulsa Rocks. Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having us.
So we are just so excited to have them here. We've been trying to hook this up for months. You know, I've seen Lynn out pretty often, you know, at various shows. And let's play phone tag. We're going to play phone tag. Let's film on our show. We finally were able to finally get it linked up. And I'm so happy that you guys are here.
Yeah.
So tell us about what y'all been up to, because you have some pretty big stuff coming up this summer.
A lot.
Okay, so we have a fundraiser on July 19th, and it is our Tulsa Rocks concert number 5.
5 years, Lynn.
And it's at the Cimarron Bar, and it has Travis Kidd, Zero Crossing, and Stone Roses.
Awesome.
With
It's
gonna be
Travis
awesome.
on.
I love
Yeah.
so good.
Yes.
Yeah,
was
so we'll
bomb.
have some autographed guitars from Tom Kiefer and Brett Michaels, and just
So
these
nice.
bands that I sort of know, and Hailstorm, they were nice enough to sign guitars, and so we auction these off and sell merch and raffle off some fun prizes from local businesses and restaurants, and then hopefully we're raising a bunch of money, and then we donate that to Red Dirt Relief Fund.
Hey, tell us about the Red Dirt Relief Fund, because that is a really big deal here in Oklahoma. It's a wonderful organization, and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And they truly, I feel, stick to their mission, of supporting Tulsa music. So talk about that a little
Yeah,
bit.
Katie Dale's fantastic.
Yeah, she started it during the pandemic, which is when I started Tulsa Rocks. During the pandemic, music was not even able to make money in their normal way, going to bars and performing and concerts and stuff. So Katie decided to help her musician friends some way. And so she did fundraisers and then would donate money to certain bands and places that would hire bands, so to keep them afloat. And she did so well that she just kept going. 5 years later, and same with me, and I lost my job with iHeartMedia because of downsizing, but I had so many contacts, and I just started doing a podcast, like a lot of us, and we started raising money and selling merch and stuff, and then we would donate that money to lots of different organizations
Throughout the year,
Yeah, we're partnered with Red Dirt Relief Fund now, but I mean, we've donated money to the Tulsa Schools Foundation, to first responders, to
SPCA.
yeah, anything. I mean, we call the podcast Tulsa Rocks, but it's all things that make Tulsa rock.
Yeah.
Not just music, but, small.
There's so many things. Tulsa is just such a wonderful, wonderful
Oh, yeah.
community. You just can't get enough of it.
Yep.
And
So
we can be part of
always
that.
find
I
it.
think that's the most wonderful thing ever, because I know if we ever needed them, it would just be a phone call.
100%.
And they'd be there.
Well, I was in Guitar House one time buying a guitar and then going to the Hard Rock to get the artist to sign it. And Drew from Guitar House was in there and I hadn't met him. I didn't know he was the owner. And he happened to be waiting on me. He said, welcome in, sir. Can I help you? And I said, yeah, I want a guitar. You know, I run a nonprofit. I don't have a lot of money because they have really nice, meaning expensive guitars in there. But I just wanted something for a band to sign. And I even told him, I said, this guitar probably is not even going to get played. It's probably going to hang on a wall somewhere. And he goes, okay. He goes, yeah, I got you taken care of. Don't worry. And so he brought out this used, they buy used equipment and resell them. And he happened to have a guitar that he just got in. It was in great shape. And so, I was telling him about the podcast and he said, who's your benefactor? And at that time, I didn't have one yet because every year it had changed until this moment. And I said, oh, I don't really have one yet. And he goes, well, if you, donate to Red Dirt Relief Fund, I'll give you that guitar.
Done.
He goes, I'm on the board of Red Dirt Relief Fund. I said, done. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I said, done. I said, I've been wanting to find someone from the Red Dirt Relief Fund and do a fundraiser for him. And he goes, this was serendipity, this meeting right here. So yeah, so we've been partners ever since and they have been so great. And with the Boys from Oklahoma concert in Stillwater, that was such an incredible success. Yeah. So Katie has done such a great job with Red Dirt Relief Fund. So we're very happy and honored to be a part of their group. Yeah. So the concert number 5 is our biggest fundraiser of the year. We do fundraisers all year long. But that is the biggest one. So that'll be coming up July 19th at Cimarron Bar, 26th of Memorial.
Yep.
I mean, everybody knows the Cimarron.
Yeah, and it'll be in the afternoon because they have a band later that night. Because all of our bands perform for no talent fee. They donate their time, which is really great of them.
Very nice.
Yeah. So we do it early on a Saturday so that they can go and do their own paying gig that night. Because we don't want to, you know, they're nice enough to do it for free, but we don't want to take up their valuable time of actually making money for their family.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll jump in here. So we're happy to have you on here because
thank you.
We're so similar. Like we run a podcast studio business. That's how I started into this. You know, we needed more podcasts to do. So being a musician myself, growing up around music, my dad was in a band called Bliss in the 70s, and they were on Larry Schaefer's label.
Nice.
They played with Motley Crue and Rat and all those guys. And they were the opening band for the Sex Pistols when they came through
that infamous show.
Yeah. So he's
amazing.
Yeah. So I've got a tie to music. I've been running a soundboard since I was 10 years old.
That's
like
cool.
My dad's like, let me show you, you know, so. But after the corporate life, and it probably right around 2020, we started the business before that, but right around 2020, I was like, hey, let's do something more with the podcasting. And so we started taking on businesses to help them with their shows and their production. But then about a little over a year ago, because we're just celebrating our year, I said, why don't we do something to give back to musicians? Some of them just don't have the funds for content. They don't have the funds to do a video of themselves. They don't have the money for professional recording. And, you know, you guys, Teresa Knox is a big proponent of local music, and she does everything she can. She gives discounts on local recordings. If you're a Tulsan, she'll get you in there at a little bit of a discount rate. And I said, let me call Teresa and see. So we partnered up to start recording all the tunes at Noon, which are the local bands. And we only record them if they're doing original music, because we want to promote original music. We want to promote Tulsa. And the copyrights with covers is a hairy subject we don't want to mess with. But then we just give the content back to
It's like they get a built-in EPK.
Yeah, you can.
No, that's great.
For infinity.
That is amazing.
It's just beautiful quality work, and it's so fun for us, you know, to have them with us and listen to them play. I love it.
Yeah, and we do it for free. And if they want a little extra and they want to pay for some extra stuff, we can throw that in. But for the most part, they get an interview. They get to talk about their local songs. And then when I met Amy, she was like, hey, Brandon, I would love to do a show about music. And I'm like, we have one. Like, we need a host, though.
Like a serendipitous, you know, we kind of had that at Brandon's house.
But I've been following your show for a while. I respect what you do. It's awesome. You're out there in the streets talking to people every day,
He
I
is.
believe.
What?
Right.
Yes.
And so, mad respect to you. And I
thank
know
you.
you've reached out. Hey, let's get into the blue couch several times. I'm like, let's
absolutely.
do it. So I'm
Oh no, I
happy to have
love
you.
Yeah, the quality of video that you guys do is a blessing for bands in this town. I mean, I lived in Austin for 9 years. I lived in Dallas for 4 years. Big music scenes in both of those, and I can tell you that it takes a village to cultivate a music scene like that. And what you guys are doing is part of that building up of the music scene. Without you guys and other podcasters out there that are doing similar things, I mean, it just wouldn't be as great. And I
shout out to Oscar, right? He Tulsa Sound podcast. I
Yeah.
saw him the other day. By the way.
Yes.
I saw him. Hey, Oscar.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm the whole music scene should applaud what you guys are doing, and I hope you keep it up. Because I know it's very taxing, it's time consuming, it's not free to you.
Right.
People don't realize how expensive it can be to run just a simple podcast, and then with your incredible studio here in this beautiful facility. Yeah.
It's so great.
So
Yeah.
people,
You're blessed.
I don't like I don't do the technical stuff. You know,
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Man, I love having the artist in here. You know,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and I love getting into the meat of their songs and listening. Watching them
yeah.
such an intimate venue, so like a bar. And
Mhm.
right. It's I'm absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah, so you guys have artists come in here. Jill and I go out there.
Yeah.
Well, I do that too. You know, so.
Yeah.
Well, we do all of our stuff, on the mighty phone,
Yeah.
right? So
That's really it.
Mhm. That's it. Not just music, but small businesses. We just were at a locally owned Mexican restaurant.
Yesterday.
And it was just by chance. A friend of ours knows the owner. They went through a huge renovation, and it's beautiful.
It is.
It's Teos
And
Mexican Grill on Lewis, just north of 61st.
In
It's
London Square.
where the
Okay.
Yeah.
where the Bull and Bear is. It's just right there. And you would never know how nice it is in there. So yeah, he was nice enough to be a guest on our show. So we just
Just did it.
this is our studio, right?
Yeah.
Great.
At this
That
point.
works.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we don't charge for the advertising. And so, that's us trying to help
Give back.
them. Mm-hmm.
So have you seen the bar that is invite only, or I think it's invite only? It's like a speakeasy bar that just opened.
Where?
Where is it?
It's somewhere in downtown. I don't know the exact address, but
Called Speakeasy.
it's not speakeasy, but it's a bar that invites bands to play. But I think it's like
Is
an
Bill
invitation
Hader
only.
there on Saturday Night Live?
Maybe. I don't know. But you got to go check that out. I just got some pictures of it that someone sent me. And they said, "Hey, it's a cool music venue and a bar,
Wow.
but
Let's
it's not
do it.
like open
Yeah,
to the
if anybody watching, get a hold of Jill and I and
Tell us,
we'll be there.
what's the name of the bar? Like, what is the name of your bar?
Speakeasy downtown.
Well, Jill and I helped promote a new speakeasy in Sepulpa, right downtown where they have the Christmas shoot. It's up.
Love James Kelly.
It's above the Crossroads Cookery, which is a great restaurant. Again, very unassuming. The first time I went in there, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this place is so nice." Well, they just opened a speakeasy upstairs called Upstairs.
Yes.
And they have live music. They have incredible decor. It just blew my mind. So yeah, we wanted to do something with them immediately, and they were like, "Yeah, how about we're trying to find live bands to come and perform. So how about, can you help us with that?" I'm like, "Can we? That's what we do. That's our wheelhouse." Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's called The House.
The house.
Okay.
The House.
Oh,
The house.
Mm.
house. Yeah. You have to have a membership.
Is that a membership? So not a speakeasy.
Mm. Do you have an
Members
address?
only.
It's
not-
not downtown
oh.
somewhere.
No, I do.
Mm.
Happen to have it here.
It's a Boba. And
In one of the tunnels downtown.
Oh gosh, it doesn't have the address on here.
Yeah, they could tell you, but they'd have to kill you.
Wow.
that's such a great. Sepulpa is growing so much. I
Yes.
love Sepulpa. And so I know that place with upstairs. That's awesome. And they also have James Cowley Brewing Company.
Oh, that's not the same. Yeah.
Yeah, and they are awesome. They had a big thing there a couple of Saturdays ago, and some friends and I went and sang some songs, and there were like 4 or 5 different artists there. So they
I actually know the owner.
Yeah. Aren't they great?
Randy.
Yeah. And he can't, I didn't know who he was. We were standing outside and he's like, well, I stopped working, when y'all started playing. That was so good. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I went to shake his hand and he's like, I'm going to kiss you. I'm going to hug your neck. So I'm like, oh, okay. But
Love it. Love it.
So great. And they're getting artists in there. It's
That's awesome.
ramping up. I didn't even know it was there. But now that I do, I tell everybody about it because it's such a nice place and the beer is really good and, really cool people. And I love it there.
Yeah,
So-
that's awesome. I haven't been there yet, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's what this is all for. It's for your viewers to hear this story and say, you know what, on a lazy Saturday afternoon when they don't have anything planned, hey, let's go. Amy was talking about some microbrewery in Sapulpa. Google it. And that's why we do what we do. And I know you guys are so good at what you do too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So our fundraiser is July 19th. And then we have another one in coordination with 103.3 The Eagle. Jill Munroe has worked there for 20 years almost, Jill.
Forever.
Yeah, I was such a big fan
Crazy.
of Jill. We were competitors.
We were
'Cause
competitors.
I worked on 97.5 KMOD for
Middays.
15 years, and so we were both competing
Middays, both middays for a while.
in the midday slot for the on-air schedule.
And he always beat me.
How did you guys compare who won or not?
What do you mean?
Like you just competed like,
As in for numbers, our ratings.
It's
oh,
Yeah.
Nielsen and what's used to be called Arbitron sends out diaries. They randomly.
Yeah.
And people fill them out and send them in. And the question is,
you beat him?
No,
or
he was beating me. He was on KMOD and I was on the Eagle.
KMOD was
Exactly. And especially his drive-through lunch. Everybody loved that. And I didn't have that. I didn't have anything like that really, So yeah, he always beat me.
drive-through lunch. Oh my God.
Remember that?
request. Yeah. It was incredible. It was such a shame when they let me go, they didn't continue it, which I was a little sad by.
But it was yours.
I was a little proud that they decided nobody can do that besides Lynn.
Right.
So once they let me go, they were just
Double-edged sword there.
they just got rid of it. But it was such a unique 1 hour show.
It was.
That, I didn't even know what we were going to play because it was all request. We'd play anything from Primus right next to an REO Speedwagon song. I mean, it was all request. I have people to this day that come up to me and say, man, when my brother was sick and he was dying, you played a song for me. And it just, I got to tell you, it brought tears to my eyes. And then my brother passed away. And the year after that, I called you back and you played another song and you gave my brother a shout out. And I just, it's things like that. I mean, I played songs for people on like when they proposed to their girlfriend and then the next year on their wedding day. And then, and it's just, it's things like that make local.
It's that stuff that.
But that's Tulsa. That's what Tulsa people, I feel, what Tulsans do.
Well, local radio can do that.
Yes.
And something that is so engaged with the audience can do that. And so when they
We need to get back to it. We need to get more back to it.
So we're hoping that, we've got a surprise. But we can't tell you yet. But But so when I got let go from iHeart, I bugged the Eagle for a job for a year before they finally hired me. Because remember, it was the pandemic. Not only was nobody hiring, people were getting laid off. So, but they finally found a little position for me.
Well,
And as soon as
I worked on that really hard for you. Not
thank
that you
you.
couldn't do it yourself. But.
Well, as soon as I got hired, I went straight to Jill and asked her if she would be my co-host
did.
on Tulsa Rocks because I had a co-host that helped me start it, and then he got super busy and he moved on. So then I asked Jill, and I couldn't wait to work with her. And it's been just
Years?
it's
3, right?
Yeah.
Crazy how fast it
it's
goes.
been amazing how the podcast has grown with Jill. We've been on Fox 23 doing a segment there for a year and a half, and it's been a blast.
That's so cool.
Great.
Yeah, the listeners and viewers love her, and so she's just perfect
Thank you.
because we are out in the public so much. that's where we do our thing. You guys do your thing in this studio. I'm studio envious of you guys. It's so beautiful, but we go out and we're in the, in the public eye. And so it's great to have somebody like Jill that everybody just loves to gravitate towards.
Thanks.
Joe, you can't stay home. You can't go home anymore.
Fine.
We're starting a girl band.
We are going to start a girl band.
And so you'll be seeing more.
Oh, my.
You'll be out there. More work for you.
I'll let Amy take it home, but thank you, Lynn. It's
sure.
for everything you've done for just music in Tulsa and probably decades. Jill,
Thanks
for being on. I don't know what else to say. We appreciate it. And
thank you so much for taking our time coming and hanging out with us. We really, really appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
Welcome. Yeah, we just started a segment on our website, Tulsa-Rocks.com. I wanted TulsaRocks.com, but it was $14,000.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought, and I didn't want TulsaRocks.net. So I was like, how about that? Tulsa-Rocks.com has a ring to it. So anyway, on that website, we just started a section of local bands videos. I've been to every Rocklahoma, so they call me the unofficial mayor of Rocklahoma. It was not my thing, but it caught on and it's still going. So anyway, but there's lots of local bands at Rocklahoma. So we have a little section at Tulsa-Rocks.com. So any viewers that want to send us videos, you can go there to Tulsa-Rocks.com. Lynn at Tulsa-Rocks.com is my email.
awesome.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. And thank you, Tulsa, for just loving us and supporting us. We couldn't do it without you. And we love seeing y'all out. We love the bands that we get to go see and the people that we meet. We can hang that actually become friends, kind of like family. Really?
We start bands.
Yeah, we start bands. Yeah, we do all kinds of stuff, but thank you, Tulsa, for just supporting us, loving us so much. We love it. And thanks for tuning in to the Tulsa Tempo podcast. We appreciate you as well. And thank you, Jill and Lynn, for coming on the show.
Thank
Love
you.
you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed our little sit down with Lynn and Jill. Anytime you guys are out in Tulsa, Lynn and Jill are out all the time. Lynn Hernandez with Tulsa Rocks is just a treasure, a Tulsa treasure. He does so much for our community. So anytime you get an opportunity to go out and see him at any of his live events, please, go out and support that. Listen to some great music, hang out with Lynn. And then Jill, of course, love her. She is on the radio every day on 103.3 The Eagle. And you can hear her every day. Give her a call, hit her up on Facebook, see what she can do for you. So they're just Tulsa staples, and we love them. And we were so honored that they took time today to stop by and visit with us. And anyway, so now we just got done listening to Nude Furniture. They were the featured artists today on the Tunes at Noon over at the church. And when we say let the furniture move you, they definitely did. They rocked. It is 90 degrees outside. And they brought the smoke even more so with our bipolar Oklahoma weather. So we would like to welcome Nude Furniture. Tell us all about you. Tell us who you are.
Thank you. Well, it was wonderful to do Tunes at Noon at the church today. We appreciate everybody over there. They're such a great crew. And Nude Furniture is it's kind of my thing since 1998. It's when I did the first CD back when CD burning at home was brand new, and it was very wonky technology. So I don't even think any of those old CDs probably play anymore. So.
Right? Yeah. The old burners that used to be able to get at Best Buy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But it's been mainly a studio at home project. And, I've had bands over the years that played the material live. But generally, I overdub all the stuff myself at home. Nice. And I'm kind of a control freak like that. But
nothing wrong with that when it comes to your music, right? So tell us your names.
I'm Neil Dirickson.
And you are the guitar player extraordinaire. Yes.
Well,
and
songwriter and everything.
Everything else, yes.
And by the way, he does those, he plays the drums, the bass, the guitar, everything.
Wow.
Jack of all trades. And I'm Matt O'Melia. I'm just a drummer. So and I'm very proud and privileged to play on his stuff because Neil writes some incredible songs.
Yeah.
So we're just now kind of doing this thing live. And then we have Ron Morgan, who played bass with us today.
And Peter in the Sky with Diamonds.
Peter in the
normally
Sky
on
with
keyboard.
Diamonds plays keyboards.
Yes.
He was not here. He's out gallivanting around California
on the West
way.
Coast, yeah. I'm sure it's hot out there too, but nothing
It
like
probably is.
Nothing like our Oklahoma weather, though, right?
Yeah, nothing like that. Yeah.
So, well, what made you decide to start bringing out nude furniture? You know, you said it was more like a
it's,
studio project. So, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it had been 11 years since Nude Furniture was together and played a gig. We played around quite a bit from 2002 up through 2014. And there was some stuff that happened, like the wife I had at the time actually passed away, colon cancer.
I'm so sorry.
And then I don't know, I kind of got into a lost in the wilderness place and made some questionable decisions with my life, and moved to Oklahoma City, and that blew up in my face, and I came back to Tulsa, and
oh wow.
Then I got cancer, and then I got over that. Just like, I think I'll get Nude Furniture back together. I'm feeling better now.
Wow.
Life's on an upswing. So
music, always, right? Always come back to music.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I think like I don't really do it because I want to. I do it because I have to. It's kind of the way it is.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you work a day job, right?
I do.
Yeah. And so, trying to fit that in and play music, that can be tough, but it's still, it's a must. It's a must for all parts involved,
Oh, yeah.
So.
And I was telling Matt, I was looking at my wall calendar at home, and there's just so much ink on it for July. It's like, how am I going to get through that? We're so busy, because, we also play in the Hi-Fi Hillbillies who did Tunes at Noon about a year ago.
Yeah,
almost
we had
exactly
you guys on.
a year ago. And so this is something we're doing now at the same time as Hi-Fi Hillbillies.
That's awesome. So, yeah.
Yeah, because Neil had, the songs you heard today, that's just like scraping the surface of all the, he's just got so many different songs. Just a huge catalog, library of great songs that he's written. So we're just going to try to, as much as we can, get the furniture out there and introduce that stuff because it's great stuff. It needs to be out there.
Yeah. Well, what we heard today.
Your check's in the mail, man.
All right, you better be.
The stuff that we heard today was so good.
Well,
so
thank
good. You, the first song that you did, you opened up, and I like this song. It is called "Carry Me Away, Big Birds of Prey," and that was a great opener. Because that's a banger. I was out there singing. I just love that song. So how did that song come to be? Tell me a little bit about
the birth of that. It's got a long history.
Okay.
I got the title "Carry Me Away, Big Bird of Prey" when I was about 13, and my granddad had one of those Lowry double keyboard organs that you used to see at the mall. You hear the music wafting down the.
That was the thing. Go to the mall, learn to play the organ. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that's the first thing I think of when I go to the mall. Is where's the organ store? But anyway, my granddad had one of those organs. I'd go back there and just like jam on it when I was really young, just playing like all these atonal improvisations. And I had this one called "Carry Me Away, Big Bird of Prey," which sounds nothing like what we did today.
Oh, okay.
So around about 2004, I was thinking about that. I was like, man, that's a great title. I need to like use that on an actual song. So I wrote the lyrics that, the version that we heard today. And I kind of envisioned it as a sort of a T-Rex style Mark Bolan stomper.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, definitely heard that. And I loved it. I love that's definitely one of my favorites. I think there are people sitting next to me too, were singing along a little bit too.
Well, that's cool.
I saw some toes tapping. It was a really good song to open with. The next song that you did, which I love, is "Get My Mind Right." Rite.
Yeah, got my mind right.
Got my mind right. So
then that's an intentional misspelling.
Yes,
I don't know why I did it like
that,
but it stuck.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, that one started out years ago as a sort of a swampy CCR kind of groove. And somewhere I got the idea to do like an acid rock psychedelic guitar version, which is the one I put on an album called The Signature Sound of Nude Furniture.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got like, backwards guitars and stuff and this really nasty sounding fuzz box and stuff. And the arrangement was kind of inspired by a song called My White Bicycle by a British psych band called Tomorrow, who had Steve Howe before he was in Yes as their guitar player.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. So do you have that on vinyl? Because I know you have a very vast vinyl collection. Tell me a little bit about that, because it's pretty amazing.
It's been accumulating records all my life. When I was kind of a toddler, I was just obsessed with records, just spinning around on the turntable. I would just just hypnotize me, because my mom had a lot of records. And then my grandmother gave me like this huge stack of 45s when I was about 5 years old that I guess my uncle had left behind. Stuff like Chuck Berry and all this stuff like that, Everly Brothers. And I would just listen to these 45s, and they're still ingrained up here, and that I just love records. There's just, I have a very intense relationship with vinyl.
Yeah. I think that's a very good way to put it, because I've seen bits and pieces, of it, online. And I see when you put your post, of your purchases, and I'm like, where in the world did he find that? or that is, I've never heard of that before, so you always pique my interest, with that. I think that's just fascinating that the depth that you have in that collection is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff.
Just put it mildly. Yeah, there's quite a bit.
Yeah. I need to get around to alphabetizing it, but it's gotten to the point where I just kind of basically know where stuff is in the general area.
I think you'd have to take some vacation time to do that.
Right. I know. It would be a major undertaking.
Yeah, definitely. Now we're going to listen to a little bit of Carry Me Away, Big Bird of Prey. I hope y'all enjoyed as much as we did.
Jump out and fall and die, but there's a better way to fly. Big scary bird comes screaming by. Carry me away, big bird of prey. Swoop down upon me and take me in your claws. Pick out my eyes, look out my tongue. Take me to your nest, feed me to your young. Alright. Arms outstretched, I close my eyes. Up where the big winged monster flies. She now approaches, smooth on the breeze. Just take me down the street, and then do with me as you please. Carry me away, big bird of prey. Swoop down upon me and take me in your claws. Look out my eyes, pluck out my tongue. Take me to your nest, feed me to your young. All right.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. And now we're going to listen to Got My Mind Right. This was the second song that they played. And this is another one that is just really, really good, and then we're going to come back and Neil's going to tell us all about that.
It's amazing how wrong it can be. They ran my demons up a big tall tree. Now you're looking at a brand new me. I got my mind right. Yes, I got my mind right. I let everybody down. I was run clean out of town. Now I've come back here to see. I've been fixed up, and I hope you let me stay. I had to go away for a while and get my mind right. While you were ripping out the bathroom tile, I got my mind right. I really like what you've done with the place. You really opened up the living space. There's something brand new behind my face. I got my mind right. Yes, I got my mind right. Oh, I got my mind right. Yes, I got my mind right.
So the next song, Neil, that y'all did was called Ever Kiss a Firefly. And I love that song.
Oh, thanks.
I love that song. It's just cool. And it has kind of like this 90s little vibe to it, I think. Was that intentional?
Well, that makes sense. It was written in 1992.
There it is.
So
Okay.
that's, yep. There you go.
And what's the story behind that one?
Well, as I remember it, I was going to classes at TU. It was before this one class started, and there was a couple of girls that sat behind me in this row, and I heard one of them tell the other about how she just smoked 3 cigarettes at one time outside the building, and they were laughing about it. It was just like, oh, that's interesting. So I think Ever Kiss a Firefly came out of that somehow. But it's been so long ago, I don't really remember much about writing it. But it's definitely in the heart of the Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden,
Yes.
Pearl Jam period.
Yeah, that's some really good stuff. That was really good stuff. Ever Kiss a Firefly is on what album?
Persona Non Grata. And it's an album I recorded in Springfield, Missouri at a place called The Studio. We have the church here, and they had The Studio in Springfield, recorded by the late great Lou Whitney, who passed on, unfortunately, several years back. But he was, a legendary figure around the Ozarks, played in the Skeletons, and the Skeletons backed up a lot of bands over the years, everyone from Bo Diddley to Jonathan Richman and Sid Straw, people like that.
Wow.
And, so that was a great experience recording with Lou.
Yeah, how fun.
Yeah.
How fun. Especially, and what a great memory, too. Great memories.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't get that stuff back.
I know.
It's so good. So we're going to listen to a little bit of Have You Ever Kissed a Firefly? And I hope y'all enjoyed as much as we did.
Did you kiss a firefly? Did you ever scald your tongue? Did she taste like a smokestack, even though she was so young? Did you ever kiss a firefly? Did you ever watch her dance? Did her lit cigarette ever put you in a trance? Did you ever lick the sidewalk when it's 98 degrees? Did you ever sniff a drain pipe after the first hard freeze? Did you ever kiss a firefly? Did you wonder if she knows about the signals that she sends with the smoke she blows?
And then the next song that you did is called Filth. And there was a lyric, I made a note, because there is a lyric in there that I love. And I think it was in your course, and it said, I live in filth since our romance died.
Mhm.
I kind of dig that. Where did that come from?
I'm not sure, really.
Kind of like the story of my life, right?
Is it autobiographical in any way?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, well, the first draft of the song years ago, it wasn't quite like that. It was a more one-dimensional, just, I live in filth, my house is dirty, blah, blah, blah. I thought, well, I realized that's not very interesting on its own. I need to have like a reason why it's filthy.
Mhm.
It's because my romance died, and now I let everything go, and, you don't want to eat from that plate because there's something stuck to it, and don't pull back the curtain in the bathroom. You don't want to look in that.
You don't want to
tub.
see that, right?
The great lyrics, and it's also very, very complex rhythm. If you listen to it, I mean,
Yes.
because I've, as a drummer, it drives me insane trying to. But I mean, finally, after but it's so cool sounding because you don't. It's one surprise after another. The way he's written the thing. I mean, I don't even want to get into. He can tell you about the time signatures and stuff, but it is a really cool song.
I really don't know if I'd advise you to drink from that glass. And regarding the bathroom, don't pull back the curtain, don't look in that bath. Cause I live in filth since our romance died. I let everything slide.
talking about that before the show, how I was kind of hearing that little Pink Floyd thing, and you were, sitting up on the neck there a little, and it's like, really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kept, doing this, because I'm like, my God. It was just all over, but it was so good. It wasn't messy. And that's kind of
except for the times I screwed up. It was messy.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to come out of your Venmo.
Another demerit.
No, Matt's a phenomenal player. I love what he brings to the group.
Yes,
So.
absolutely. Did you have when you started writing that song, did you have that kind of Pink Floyd-ish kind of rhythm, I guess, in mind, or how did that evolve?
Well, not really. It's another older one that I've done off and on over the years, and I finally recorded it and released it in 2020 on an album called The Actual Nude Furniture, which the story behind that title, if I can get off on a tangent, comes from the Ruddles movie, All You Need Is Cash, where I believe it's Eric Idle is playing the narrator, and it was in this actual hotel on this actual street where we talked to the actual Paul Simon. And so I called the album The Actual Nude Furniture because of that.
I love it.
But anyway, we were talking about Filth, and I actually don't remember how the music came together. I think I just wanted to write something in kind of a swingy 3/4 kind of feel. I like to write in 3/4 in 6/8 and 5/4.
But it's got that vibrato thing too, which is almost kind of Creedence-like almost. I can hear a little bit of that in there, but I guess that's the vibe, whatever it is. But
yeah, so talk a little bit more about your writing process, because I'm suddenly fascinated with this. So tell me, just with how Filth came to be. So anytime you sit down to write, do you have a process, or did you just let it come to you, or
it just kind of comes to me? I know that I've heard Bob Dylan talk about his process. He's like, I didn't really write those songs. I just something transmitted them to me, and they came through my pen. And it's like I don't know, but it's like I honestly don't know, because I'm not trying to. Well, I just don't know. I mean, it's hard to explain. There's some people think that when they hear a song somebody wrote that it's the truth, and that's the way the person is, and they're telling a story about themselves. It's not always the truth. There's, the concept of the unreliable narrator, which I like. You can write anything, and it's not necessarily the way you feel or think. You're just, writing from a point of view.
Yeah,
and it's unreliable.
If you look a lot, if you read a lot of, just if you really focused on all the lyrics he's written, it's like there's this little alter ego or something that's writing this stuff, because it's really, it's not the Neil that I hang out with anymore. It's like this totally different character, creating these
That's
things.
kind of cool.
Well, I think I took some stuff from some pointers from Lou Reed, because when I heard the Velvet Underground, when I was young, it kind of proved to me you can write a song about anything, about scoring dope or whatever, But
so
I don't know anything about that, but
no, not that deal on this corner there today was nothing like that, y'all. It was dividing up tip money.
Yeah. But yeah, Lou Reed, he's a good example of you can just write something that's just kind of seedy and seamy, and it's not necessarily how you are. It's just a slice of life that you can kind of imagine, put yourself in a headspace, and write about it.
I love that. So some of your influences. Well, I'll tell you this first. I was hanging out with your cousin Randy Brumley, who we love. He's been on our show.
Oh yeah,
he's just a joy, such a treasure.
Good old randomator.
Love him. What do you call him? Randomator?
Randomator.
That's cute. So I was busy with him, and we were talking, in between your songs, and he said that you're kind of known around here as the Tulsa Elvis Costello. And I said, does he know that? Can I use that on the show? You know, and he goes, oh yeah, you know, he knows all about that. So talk about some of your musical influence. You know, you touched a little bit on it. So talk a little bit more about that.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I grew up with, I think the first music I remember hearing was country. It was all Buck Owens and Merle Haggard because of my dad. And then I mentioned the stack of 45s I got from my grandmother. And then I got really into the Beatles and Bob Dylan, Lou Reed. Yeah, I just love unique voices in songwriting. It's just people that are distinctly different. You know, and I think I'm trying to do something a little different, something that you don't hear around here a lot. You know, whether that's good for my career or not.
Yeah, well, I think once people get a taste of it, you know, then you're kind of hooked. You know, you just kind of reel it in, and that's. I mean, for me, I didn't know Nude Furniture. I didn't know Hi-Fi Hillbillies until I heard y'all play, and I'm like, I love them. You know, like, they're really good. You know, and you play well, your instruments well, you write well. So yeah, just let it speak for itself.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, and how about you, Matt? So who are some of your influences? I know we talked about it before. I remember we talked about Buddy Rich.
Buddy Rich, certainly. I mean, as far as like drummers or just music
in general.
Well, I mean,
drummers,
the Beatles, the Beatles, the Doors, Jethro Tull, Moody Blues, Creedence, Elvis, and these. Neil has introduced me to so much stuff. I mean, in the hillbillies that I never, you know, Eddie Cochran. I mean, I was like, I didn't know that much stuff about a lot of those old 50s guys. I mean, I just like missed all that stuff. And then now I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just rediscovering all this old cool stuff.
Yeah. Masters of their time, definitely.
I mean, I'm influenced by, I mean, just too many great, you know, musicians to count.
Yeah, there's just so much, you know, it's almost like you can't, you just.
And Leon.
Of course. Yes. We all love Leon. Yeah.
I remember, my first exposure to Leon was, I think I was in first grade. It would have been like 78 or something. And my mom would drive me to school or pick me up. And she had the Best of Leon 8-track in the car. And that was like the first Leon that I heard. Yeah. So that's still one of my favorite, you know, compilations of anybody. It's just such a great group of songs.
And how cool is that now here you are, present day, playing it in his house.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Wow. That is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, those songs of his are just, you know, everything from Lady Blue and Back to the Island is one of my favorites. I mean, it's just puts you in a different headspace.
Totally, especially with headphones on. Yeah, I love listening to Leon with headphones. Because you can hear all the different, you know, stuff that he's doing. Yeah. So, and it's just, it takes you somewhere. It definitely does.
Oh, and the song Magic Mirror. I've been thinking about bringing that to Nude Furniture to have us do a version of that. Probably should have done it today. Yeah. Oh, well, maybe next year.
Yeah. There's always next year, right? Yeah. So we'll talk about you said you have a calendar full of stuff, you know, so talk about some of your upcoming gigs. I know the Hi-Fi's do the happy hour at Thelma's.
Yeah, we're going to be there July 4th. Okay. Which is the next one. And I think there's going to be, some hot dogs and some hamburgers or
What's
something.
Andrew going to make for us?
I heard some rumors of hot dogs.
I think that's the plan. I think that's what Pete is trying to get Andrew to do. And Andrew's kind of like,
okay. Well,
so Andrew Amelia is Matt's son, and he's the owner of Thelma's Peach. And so that's when we say Andrew, that's who we're talking about. Yeah, he's a really good guy, really great bar. So we love it. So you guys are over there like on the first Friday of every month. We're happy every month. Okay.
And we play 5:30 to 7:30. First Friday.
Happy hour.
And then you're taking it on the road, right? You're kind of going all over the little four-state area, your tri-state area, I should say.
We're doing something called a redneck hootenanny in Inola or something.
That's a bird. Yeah, I don't even know. I can't keep straight. We do a lot of car shows. We go to Salina, Kansas later this summer, and
In Wichita.
Oh yeah,
love talking about Wichita.
the dangerous town of Wichita with all of its yellow jackets.
Yellow jackets and all. Yeah. It wouldn't be Wichita if
the
we didn't get
wasps
stung.
and the yellow jackets are just waiting for us.
Yeah, I think it's my turn to be stung next time. I haven't been stung yet. But
Oh, well then, you're up. Definitely.
Matt's gotten it, and Peter in the Sky with Diamonds has gotten it.
Oof. Yeah, those buggers are nasty. Nasty. But
there's a lot of stuff coming up next month, like, for Independence Day, and then we got something at Maggie's. And Maggie's is next Wednesday, and then we play at Hop the Griffin next Friday. Next Saturday is that birthday party in Inola, and then
but we can find y'all on the socials, right? What are your socials? You have the Hi-Fi Hillbillies. Yeah. Do you have one for Nude Furniture?
Yeah, I just started one. I've got Instagram and Facebook, and then I just started putting together a website that's functional and live now.
Okay.
And I'm in the process of uploading all of Nude Furniture's music to the website. You can go and stream anything. Hopefully, going back to the beginning, I still need to do some more on that, but I think the newest 3 or 4 albums are on there right now.
Great. So we can find all of your gigs, all of the Nude Furniture music, everything that y'all are up to on your socials.
Yes.
Yeah. So it definitely, takes some, if you guys are ever looking for something to do, on a weekend, there's so much to do in Tulsa, but these guys are definitely worth going to check out. So thank you all so much for coming on our show. We really appreciate you.
It
was so much fun, and it was so great to see you again.
Good to see you, Amy.
We'll definitely be seeing you this summer for sure. So keep doing what you're doing. I love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
And thank you all for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.